Deep in the heart of the scorching desert, a team of intrepid explorers stumbles upon an ancient tomb, its entrance hidden beneath centuries of shifting sands. As they cautiously approach, the air grows thick with anticipation, the very ground beneath their feet seeming to pulse with an otherworldly energy. With trembling hands, they push open the massive stone doors, revealing a cavernous chamber shrouded in darkness. The beam of their flashlights dance across crumbling statues of forgotten gods and hieroglyphs that glow with an eerie, ethereal light. The explorers exchange nervous glances, their hearts pounding in their chests as they venture deeper into the tomb's depths. As they navigate the winding corridors, the walls seem to close in around them, the air growing heavy and oppressive. Strange whispers echo through the passageways, carried on a wind that shouldn't exist in this sealed tomb. The explorers press on, driven by an insatiable curiosity and the promise of untold riches. At last, they reach the heart of the tomb, a vast chamber dominated by an enormous sarcophagus, its surface adorned with intricate carvings and precious gems. The group approaches with reverence, their eyes wide with wonder at the magnificent sight before them. One of the explorers, overcome by the moment, reaches out to touch the sarcophagus. As his fingertips brush against the cold stone, a violent tremor shakes the chamber. The ground beneath their feet begins to shift and crack, and the air fills with the sound of grinding stone and ancient mechanisms springing to life. To their horror, the lid of the sarcophagus slowly slides open, revealing a withered figure adorned in royal finery. The mummified king's eyes snap open, blazing with an otherworldly green fire. As he rises from his millennia-long slumber, the chamber erupts into chaos. The very dust on the floor begins to swirl and coalesce, taking on horrifying forms. Mummies, their bandages tattered and decayed, claw their way out of the walls and floor. The explorers scramble to escape, but find their path blocked at every turn by the growing horde of undead. Panic sets in as the group realizes they're trapped in a nightmarish labyrinth. The walls of the tomb seem to shift and change around them, corridors leading to dead ends and chambers morphing into treacherous pits. The air grows thick with the stench of decay and the sound of shuffling undead feet. In the darkness, the explorers fight for survival. They dodge grasping hands and gnashing teeth, their screams echoing through the twisting passageways. But with each step, they feel the presence of something far more terrifying than the mummies pursuing them, a malevolent force that seems to be toying with them, hurting them deeper into the tomb's depths. As they round a corner, they come face to face with the source of their torment. The cursed king stands before them, his withered form radiating an aura of ancient power. His eyes, twin infernos of emerald flame, bore into their souls. With a gesture, he summons tendrils of darkness that writhe and coil around the terrified explorers. One by one, the king pulls them into the void. Their screams are cut short as they vanish into the inky blackness, leaving behind only echoes and the lingering scent of fear. The last explorer, clinging desperately to a crumbling pillar, watches in horror as his companions disappear. With a final bone-chilling laugh, the cursed king turns his gaze upon the lone survivor. The explorer's grip falters, and he feels himself being pulled inexorably towards the waiting darkness. In his final moments, he sees the massive stone doors of the tomb slam shut with a resounding boom. The desert falls silent once more, the tomb's entrance hidden once again beneath the shifting sands. But for those who know where to look, a warning remains etched into the stone, a dire message to all who would dare disturb the eternal rest of the cursed king. Those who awaken the tomb shall be forever imprisoned in eternal darkness. Years pass, and the legend of the forgotten tomb grows. Whispered tales speak of the ill-fated expedition, of the cursed treasures that lie within, and of the vengeful spirit that guards them. Some dismiss the stories as mere myth, while others are drawn to the promise of untold riches and ancient secrets. But for those who know the truth, the Forgotten Tomb remains a place of unimaginable horror. The cursed king waits patiently in his chamber of shadows, ready to claim new victims for his eternal prison. And in the darkest hours of the night, some say they can still hear the faint echoes of screams carried on the desert wind, a chilling reminder of the fate that awaits those who dare to disturb the slumber of the ancient dead. As the years turn to decades and decades to centuries, the legend of the Forgotten Tomb takes on a life of its own. It becomes a cautionary tale, a ghost story told around campfires to frighten children and thrill seekers alike. But for a select few, the allure of the tomb's mysteries proves too strong to resist. New expeditions are mounted, each more determined than the last to uncover the truth behind the legend. They come armed with the latest technology, their minds filled with rational explanations for the supernatural occurrences described in the old stories. But as they descend into the depths of the tomb, they soon discover that no amount of preparation can shield them from the ancient evil that dwells within. The cursed king watches from the shadows, his power growing with each passing year. He feeds on the fear and despair of those who enter his domain, using their life force to strengthen his hold on the mortal world. With each new victim, the boundary between the world of the living and the realm of the dead grows thinner. As the tomb's influence spreads, strange occurrences begin to plague the surrounding desert. Sandstorms appear out of nowhere, swallowing entire caravans. Travelers report seeing ghostly figures wandering the dunes at night, their hollow eyes glowing with an unearthly green light. The very landscape seems to shift and change, as if the desert itself is trying to protect the tomb's secrets. But still, the curious and the greedy continue to seek out the Forgotten Tomb. They come from all corners of the globe, drawn by the promise of untold riches and the thrill of facing the unknown. And as they step across the threshold of that ancient burial chamber, they seal their fate, becoming the latest additions to the cursed king as ever-growing army of the damned. The cycle continues, an endless dance of discovery and doom. And deep within the heart of the tomb, the cursed king sits upon his throne of shadows, patiently waiting for the next foolish souls to awaken him from his slumber. For in the realm of the Forgotten Tomb, death is only the beginning of an eternity of darkness.